Hi everyone, I'm Kitty Cat and welcome to my new videos. Um, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who watched and liked my video, my first one. It was a wonderful thing to see and to see all the love and support that I'm receiving. So I'm going to keep going with these series. Behind me is my next, what I would do next progression through Arc. But before I go ahead with this video, I do want to do a big shout out to my fellow Aussies, especially the ones that are combating the fires within those fires. I send my best wishes and thoughts out to those people, and I hope you all do the same as well. You know, we are technically are on fire over here, and it's a bit rough, but we are getting there, and we have amazing people up in those areas that are combating the fire. Okay, I woke up this morning and there's smoke everywhere, but I know I know we have an amazing force looking after the firefighters are out there. They're amazing. So what they're doing, and everybody else who is involved. We have a lot of people out there helping each other, helping even the animals that are there that are being injured and hurt. So it's amazing to see, and I just want to do a big shout out to them, and that we're thinking of you, and thank you so much for your work that you are doing, and hopefully we get some rain soon. But I just wanted to do that before I got started. But just thank you. So today in this video, we are this is what I'll do next. You know, you've done your trapping, you've done your taming of some of the animals, um, and but you haven't got everything yet, obviously. More than likely, you might have a little trike over here. I forgot to name her. This is always Sarah. If you don't get the reference, I'm sorry for you. You really should watch Land Before Time, but yeah, it won't let me change her name. All right, let's do this quickly because we love to name our dinosaurs. You know, they're part of our little tribe here. They all deserve an eight name. So here we go. We got Sarah there. But that's probably usually the first thing you'll tame, or you might tame a flyer, but we'll talk about them later. But you want to progress further in this game, and the best way to do that is to collect your berries and your seeds. What I know a lot of people who have been playing Ark for a while do know this, but for the new ones, trikes are actually pretty amazing. Like just one little hit, and this is actually the trike that we tamed from the previous video. So not cheated this one in, but she gets her berries, but she also gets the seeds, and you're like, oh, what can I do with these seeds? Well, what you could do with these seeds is actually eat them. I don't know if you knew that. But yeah, you need them. They're not going to give you any nutritional values, but you can eat them if you're really starving. Anyway, what I do is I actually set up a farm. I set one up as soon as I can. Um, this is my simple one. Obviously, if you're a bigger tribe or you've gotten further in progression, you want it bigger, but a little startup. So most people just do these four, which are the vegetables. So we have the vegetable over here. I planted it in the wrong spot. So we got the citronella, which is also the lemon. And we have the sava roots, which is actually potatoes. If you're wanting to do that, you can just see them hiding in the ground there. These ones are obviously the rocket roots, so carrots, which are very useful in taming the horses, which are an amazing creature, but we'll talk about that later. And last but not least is the long grass, which is, well, as you can see, little corn. These vegetables are very important. They help with taming up, the herbivore creatures like Sarah over there. Um, but yeah, they also come in handy. But I also like planting the berry seeds, and I even do the naco berries and the stem berries. And you're like, well, why would you do that? You can just go take your tricalogy and get a whole pile of berries. And yes, I do. But the other reason is that it's nice to have a little backup of berries along the way, and especially narcotic berries. I usually plant more than one, but just this one. I only planted the one. And stem berries. It's like they're not important, but they are. They are quite important. We'll go through in a second. So this is my little garden setup. I do use S Plus as I mentioned before. So I have the farmer here, but it's mainly just so I can keep this running, so I can do the videos for you. So, but just in the normal standard arc, these water, so this is how you set it up. You put a little pipe in, little tap, and these taps can do 4x4. Though for some reason these taps can do 3, so I'm not sure about the range. I always thought it was 2x2, but apparently it's you can do 3x3. Oh, sorry, 3x2, but whatever. These might be S plus, and this is why I'm a little bit confused. But I'm pretty sure it's only 2x2, and you just do 2 little crop plots like this, or 4 of them. Put one in the middle, and you're watered. Obviously, with the S plus flood, you do have a beehive, and you can also, and you know, well, we can talk about that one later. Getting the beehive and the honey, you can do, and you will need it, but and I'll tell you why in a moment. But this is my little garden setup. Obviously, I do have a little tech generator in the background, but you can use just a normal generator, or you can power all these by gasoline. But I've just put this up only so everything can stay running while I do these videos, obviously. But we start off with our little cooking pot and our industrial cooker. And yes, um, in just the basic art, you don't have the S plus ones. The only real big difference is, you don't get these little folders and it doesn't tell you what it can make. You just work that out for yourself, or you got a wiki as well. Definitely use the online Wikipedia. It really does help you out with playing Ark. It's a very useful guide and tips and tricks. Like, it's better than what I'm going to give you, but I'm going to try to give you as much as I can. But you'll start off with the cooking pot. You can see makes little vegetable cakes, which we'll go into a little bit further. And then you got all these foods and your kibbles. And this is what I do that this garden is for. This garden is just for starting out and getting those kibbles started. So obviously we have an industrial grill, but you can use a campfire, which I forgot to put one down. Everyone knows what a campfire looks like. And we have your preserving bin, which is the first that you would have before your fridge. Yes, these are much higher progression, but you still have everything that you need and before you get to the higher stuff. And it's not too hard to get to them. But preserving bin does a little bit extra than what the fridge does. It does make jerky. You just need, as you can see, it's oil and spark powder, and it'll make the jerky for you. Depending on your rates, on basic rates, it's 32 minutes for a piece of jerky in one of these fridges. So you more than likely will want more than one. But for my needs, I usually just use the one. And then we have all the industrial cooker, which does exactly the same as what the cooking pot does. It doesn't do anything extra. You have to connect it to water. Where the cooking pot, it requires water put inside its inventory using a water skin or canteen will even work. Um, but with this one, it will need power. It needs water. And it does exactly the same thing in a faster rate. You also have your auto crafting with it, which is amazing. And your fridge, well, it's just a refrigerator. I'll show you the one that has the in it. I only got all this in just a few moments, just with my garden just sitting there. So I think my rates are a little bit, but I wasn't aware. But it's not a bad haul. And why I'm focusing today on kibble, and my vegetable plant is because of these kibbles. These kibbles are what you want to do to get those better tames, to get those higher level tames. Um, because when you're taming up an animal, if you're just taming up like farming animals, like Sarah here, we have the metal gatherer, which is the Anki, and you've also got the Doedicurus, which does the stone here. These ones, you might not need them for a higher level, or a better tame. But when you're looking at, say, this Thyla here, little bumblebee here, or for a Rex, you might want just that little bit higher one and that better level. So when you're taming with a kibble, it has a higher chance they eat it a little bit faster, or they don't eat it faster. It's just their taming rate goes up, and their loss taming effectiveness doesn't lower as much, or not at all. And this is why we want kibble, because Ark is a progression game, and you want to get those bosses in the end, and you need those really good teams to kill those bosses in the end. So this is how I start. Now, in regards to keeping those crop plots up and running, you need fertilizer. Hey, we need a poop and lots of poop. Here we have poop going. This is the S Plus compost bin, but it's the same as the regular compost bin. It does the same. You need thatch and you need 3 poos. It'll start making your fertilizer. It does take a little while, but it does get the job done. You might want a couple more down than just the one, but it does. And your phenomia. So this is like the best thing you can have. It poos a lot just sitting there, pooing away. But there's a little trick with it as well, and I'll just give you a quick demo of our trick. So you just go in here, you get some stim berries, wet a couple. We'll get some food for it as well, because I haven't got a food trough done for it at the moment. I'm a little bit lazy. If we come around here, and put the stim berries in on it, you need to have a saddle, you need to sit on it. And if you do this, if you feed it stim berries, it didn't do as much as I wanted, but that's alright. It just poos. It will poo as much as possible if you give it a lot of stim berries. Let's see if I can show you a little bit more. I'll try once more. Come on, little piggy. Little Miss Piggy, or Mr. Piggy. Eat your stim berries and poo for us. There we go. As we feed it, it'll poo. There you go. It gives us a little tiny amount. There was 3 poos that time. There you go. See them stacked there. um, yeah, I've put this in just so it'll keep this running, but that's just to pick up my poos and put it in my compost bin. And it's full. The other thing is, as you go up higher, you will find dung beetles around the world. Maybe if you're starting out, you won't find them or you're not sure where they are. But most of the time, these little dung beetles, which are amazing, you find them in volcanic areas. Got earthquake happening, the stego, but you'll find them in volcanic areas and caves, most likely. So if you find any of those areas, do keep a lookout for these dung beetles. They're very amazing. So what will you do with these dung beetles? You put poo in them. And that's all you need. You don't need your thatch, which is what the compost bin needs. And it'll fill up. This is a good example. It'll just fill up, put poo in it, and it'll make your fertilizer. But it does make oil as an off product, which is really great. I always fill them up with weight, just so they can carry a few more things. But with these guys, they do need to be on wander. As you can see, I'll show you. behavior. And we got on them on wandering. But when you put them on wandering, obviously they're just going to go wandering around. So this is why we use a little using hitching post here. But obviously if you don't have the hitching post, you can make a little 4x4 area. Just put them in there and they'll wander around in the area. They usually don't glitch over, but if you do leave the area, they can do that. Um, they can phase through walls if you do leave the area, so just be aware of that. Um, but yeah, they're very very handy. They make the fertilizer a lot faster than the compost bin, and you just take the fertilizer off here and you put them in your garden. So it's pretty easy. Um, I think that's pretty much everything I need to have for us today. So yeah, I really want to focus on the kibble, and why I do this is because future videos I want to talk about taming about kibbles. There's a few little tips and tricks with kibble, but this is what you want to aim for, is to make the kibble. Um, the other thing is this is the kibble that you really want to aim for. Like you can definitely do other others, and they're a lot easier to make. Like this one's just everyday type of items. But if we're aiming for the extraordinary kibble, we want the honey and we also want the Lazarus chowder. And with the chowder, again, it's just stuff that we have around. You always have cooked meat, and narcotics is definitely one of the first things you start to make so you can tame animals. So it's really quite easy to make. Bee honey's a little bit tricky, but once you've got your traps going that we showed in the last video, you can go trap a bear so easy. But why I mentioned these kibbles, as I will show you my kibble farm in the next video, and you will see how things go and why we need kibble, not just the kibble to tame up our dinosaurs, our T-Rexes, even our gigas. It's not that we just need a kibble for them. It's because we need kibble for other things as well. It's very useful. So, um, thank you. I know this video is a little bit shorter than my previous one, but I promise the next ones will get a little bit longer, but I don't want to keep them too long. This is just helping you out, helping the new ones, a refresher. We've got Genesis coming out. I've been aware that there is a new arc. Um, Sorry, a new um, memo coming out today that we may or may not be given the release date for Genesis. Some Genesis hype again in the chat, guys. And yeah, we're gonna looking forward to that. We may not, but we're hoping and crossing all our fingers and toes for getting the release date known. So either way, just doing these videos just as a refresher to the people that have been playing for a really long time, like myself. But it's also for the people that they're seeing Genesis and Ark, and they're like, maybe want to give it a go. So these videos are just to help you out, help you get started, and give you ideas of how to progress. Anyway, I want to say again a big thank you. Do like and subscribe, and even reply in the comments, please. I love to hear your feedback. But in the meantime, um, as always, have fun, enjoy this amazing world, have fun, and keep safe. And bye.